Two superpowers for 2025, consistency and persistence. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Today, Ruby and myself are talking about how consistency tapped into persistence will put you in a place where you may not have thought you could go. So I've spoken very specifically about how being consistent is a true superpower for a lot of people. You get up, you do the work. You get up, you do the work. Consistency is something that I see as being a value add no matter what you do. And so if you can be consistent, that's going to add a ton of opportunity in what you're doing, simply because not everybody's consistent. But let's talk about persistence. So persistence is consistency when it really sucks, when you don't see any value in it, when you have headwinds and things are going against you, and yet you persist. These are the things that we want a lot of entrepreneurs to think about, because that is a hallmark of being an entrepreneur, which is not just being consistent, but persisting when things get tough. But that is a personality type as much as is anything. But for our discussion here, let's talk about how persistence will really help anybody. Doesn't matter what you're doing, doesn't matter what the role. So you got to have a little self-awareness. Being persistent in the face of overwhelming odds can sometimes be foolhardy, yet we persist. Sometimes not seeing where you are in the grand scheme leads to bad decisions, and persisting and being consistent for the wrong things, also challenging. So layer in a little bit of self-awareness, and between consistency and being persistent, you will have a much higher odds of winning. And so this is what I'm thinking about for myself. So consistency, I've been up and down with consistency, but persisting, you got to have a little bit of grit. And so understanding how your markets work, how your customers work, how your business works, these are all great opportunities to start moving forward in a way that allows you to persist in the face of what's going to be challenges. Like everything is hard these days. So now it's like, how do we take this idea of persistence and use it to our advantage, in the sense of, like, when other people fold their deck chairs and go home, we're still there. So it's that self-awareness piece that's the key. Do we have the right things happening for us, and does that make it easier for us to understand how persistence makes us stronger, makes us better, makes us do things others won't, that kind of stuff. So my goal for 2025 is to really understand how these things are impacting what I'm doing. And so consistency, yeah, I'm up and down, but I'm pretty good. Persistence, I think I'm great. So persisting through these things that become the bumps in the road, the hard times of your life, the things that are against you in terms of your markets or your customers, your company or your whatever. This is separating those that are really willing to do what's necessary and those that are not. And so being persistent helps you understand that difference. So it's 2025. Ruby says it's cold. We're being persistent on our walks, and consistent, but mostly persistent. So she's up for a nice warm fire right now, but we'll talk more about that later. All right, enough for today. Walking and talking with Ruby.